Good afternoon, first farmers. It's been a while since I did a video lecture with you, but I'm gonna do them more often. Even when we go back to school face to face, I'm still gonna do them to help you understand the topic more, and you could always view it anytime you like. Okay, students, the topic I have today is to briefly describe the structure of government that we have in the Netherlands and the rest of the kingdom, the Dutch kingdom actually. We have a parliamentary democracy. The system we have is that. And at the top of the layer, we have the king or the queen. Now, in our case, we have a king. For a long time, we had queens that was at the top. Now, one thing you have to know is that the king or the queen, they don't have a lot of power. They are mostly ceremonial, so they're a figurehead. They have some power, but not a lot like before. Before, hundreds of years ago, they had tremendous amount of power. They made most of the decisions, but not any longer because we have a parliament, because we have democracy. Remember, that was one of our types of government we had. So we also have, beneath that, we have the Kingdom Council of Ministers. So remember, we have our ministers too, but we have at the top the Kingdom Council of Ministers. Then we have a position called the Minister of Plenipotentiary. Now, the Minister of Plenipotentiary, there's three of them. There's one that represents Aruba, another one who represents Curacao, and another one, the third one, represents St. Martin. Now, the Ministers of Plenipotentiary, they attend the meetings of the Kingdom Council of Ministers and they basically lobby. And the word lobby is to fight for something or someone. So you lobby for somebody or you lobby for a cause, an issue. So you basically are fighting. Okay? That's what the word lobby is. You're trying to get support. Okay? So then we also have the Kingdom Council of State. The Kingdom Council of State is a body that gives advice to the Dutch government about a range. Now, another word for range is many issues they give advice on. And then we have now, when you now go down to the next layer, we have the governor. Now, we have St. Martin as a governor as well as the other islands as well. And we all know that the, the king, he is the one who appoints the governors. Remember, we discussed that several weeks ago in class. So once again, I repeat myself again, the king is the one who appoints the governors. And then we have under the governors, we have three branches of government. There's three of them all over the world. We have the executive branch, and the executive branch is the branch that executes the law. Executes means they carry out the law. They see that the law is put into practice. Then we have the second branch of government. We have the legislative branch. The legislative branch is the entity that makes the laws of a country. And they do other things, but their main task is to make the laws. And then we have the judicial branch. They're the ones that interprets the laws. That's what one of the main things they do. Now let's go back to the executive branch. The executive branch is comprised or consists of the prime minister. That person is part of the executive branch, and we have the ministers. We have seven ministries on the island. Okay, in another class, when next year, God's willing, for term 2, we will discuss and identify all the ministries and some of their functions. So that's for a future class. But for now, all you need to know, we have seven of them. And I'll repeat it again. We have the Prime Minister and we have the Council of Ministers that are part of the executive branch. Now, if we go to the legislative branch, the Parliament of St. Martin is part of the legislative branch. And we also have the Central Committee. Okay, we also have the Central Committee of Parliament, and we have different layers. We have different committees in there. So when we get to that topic, we'll discuss that in detail. But for now, you need to know that we also have the Central Committee. And then the judicial branch, we have a number of them. We have the Supreme Court of the Netherlands. which is the highest court in the Dutch kingdom. We have the Common Court of Justice. We have the we have the Court of First Instance, and the Common Court of Justice. They also call it the Appeals Court, which is located in Curacao. In second form, you'll get to know a lot more about the different court systems we have. And then we have the Constitutional Court, and then we have the Ombudsman. Now, all these different entities that fall under the judicial branch, I'm going to say it again. This is a topic we discuss in second form, where you get all this information in detail. And there's also something too at the last layer in the executive branch. We have an entity called the Council of Advice, and the legislative branch we have the General Audit Chamber. So this is basically a brief description of the outline, the layers. I'm going to attach a copy of what it looks like in class discussion so you can see it for yourself, or I could put the website where you can obtain it yourself. And the assignment for today is based on what I have just discussed in this video. So you're going to pay attention and repeat it again and review it again and listen to it again, and you're going to answer some questions. That is the assignment we're going to have today. Thank you for listening.